Hello, fishy people! So in my last long-form video, I had shared my dislike for preset heaters, and in this video, I'm going to be replacing the heater in my 29-gallon with the Hygger Titanium Tube Heater, so stay tuned for my opinions on the product. So if you're following along with my channel, we're currently in the process of making this tank look nicer, and on this journey, I need to outcompete the algae and aquascape the tank. I also want to get a food web going, and the algae battle has already begun, and I showed that in another video. I'll have it linked somewhere in the description. So this video is going to be about another part of this tank's revival. So I need a new heater. But before I get into the heater review, I want to briefly go over why I personally prefer heaters that I can set instead of preset. But really quickly, I do want to mention that the heater I'm adding into the tank in this video, it's a Hygger product, and for the sake of transparency, I want to mention that this beautiful heater was sent to me by Hygger. Now, Hygger is a favorite brand of mine, and it has been for a couple of years now, so I'm like really excited to try this heater because I've wanted to try this specific heater for quite a while now, so I'm really grateful that I get to try it here. So all my thoughts on this video are going to be honest thoughts, and I just wanted to make sure that for the sake of transparency I got that out there. But yes, I'll be getting into the review after these thoughts on preset heaters. Alright, so number one, and I think this is the most important point in my opinion, is the control of disease. So some illnesses and parasites in fish tanks require a higher or a lower temperature to fight them off. And it's easier to deal with this if you already have a settable heater. It's just a pain in the neck if you have to go throw in a settable heater and deal with all that. If it's already in there, it just makes things easier. But yeah, a common example of one of these illnesses would be the parasite ick. This delightful parasite's life cycle can be sped up with the help of a higher temperature. So being able to set the heater you already have in the tank is a lot more convenient. Number two, some species prefer temperatures that aren't the preset temperature, which is typically around 77 to 78 on these heaters that are set. But most critters are adaptable, but if you really want to mimic their natural conditions, you can set it closer to the preferred temperature with a settable heater. And number three, in my experience, these heaters die faster. I'm not sure if this is just bad luck on my part. It probably is. But it seems to happen with every single one that I buy. All the heaters I can set seem to last significantly longer, and it doesn't matter what brand it is. It's just if you can set the heater, it's just always lasted longer for me. The preset ones just always die. I don't know if that's just my luck. But personally, I believe that these settable heaters are worth the extra cost just for this reason alone. Now, I do have one positive thing about preset heaters, and I feel like I should mention this because this is also my opinion, but I think they're an easier choice for smaller nano tanks, so I do still like them for that. But again, I still just have poor luck with these. So, yeah. Alright, so those are my points about preset heaters. There's still more things, but I feel like those are the most important three. And now I want to move on to my thoughts about the Hygger heater specifically. And again, for the sake of transparency, this was sent to me, but Hygger is one of my favorite brands, and I was considering this heater already, so I'm super excited to try it. So let's get into my thoughts on this. Alright, so number one, and I feel like this point goes really well after talking about the settable heater opinions. This heater has an external controller. This makes it easy to set, no wet hands needed or hand washing to get into the tank, just twist the temperature adjuster. But super quick and easy to set. The controller also beautifully displays the temperature for easy monitoring, and when the tank's heating, a red light will come up on the display. And I still keep an additional thermometer in my tank because I like to just match back and forth like how well the different thermometers are going to see if they match up and everything's been very nice and consistent here. The next thing I really like about this heater is the probe has a long cord, and my lucky bamboo is holding it in place since I always have issues with suction cups. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but the long cord gives you a lot of wiggle room though to find a good spot to place it in the tank. And the next point in terms of suction cups, the ones for the heater itself are holding up very, very well. I'm impressed with those. I'm very picky with suction cups because they tend to, and I'm so sorry for this pun, but they tend to suck. So, yeah. And the next point, The heater got to my chosen temperature quickly. I run this tank around 75 for my peppered cories. They're the primary species in this tank, so I cater to them a lot. This temperature will be acceptable for the bristlenose that I'm planning on adding since he's going to be making his move over soon. But with the external controller, this will be easy and quick to change if he wants it just a little warmer. Yeah, I really, really, really like the external controller on this. It's my favorite part. And the last point I want to make is more of an aesthetic thing. I appreciate that this heater isn't super bulky because it makes it super easy to hide, and I put mine behind my Anubias near an air stone to help carry the heat through the tank. So it's very easy to hide, and I really appreciate that. Alright, so final thoughts overall. With a new and properly functioning heater added, this tank has made its next step towards balance, and the fish and the plants are going to appreciate the consistency. So I definitely recommend this heater. As usual, I am not disappointed with the Hygger product. I've used many of their products in the past, and there hasn't been a single one that I've disliked. And this heater just adds into the array of Hygger products that I really, really like. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. The next point I want to make before I leave you all for the week is to please check your heaters and make sure they are working correctly. The last thing you want is a heater that has let the tank go cold or even worse, overheated and cooked your fish. So just make sure your heaters are functioning properly because they are critical in a tank and they can be a massive death sentence. So it's very important to keep these in control. So yeah, But yeah, that's the heater video for this week. Stay tuned for more progress on this tank. I will be posting more. And if you're following along with this tank's process, thank you so much. I enjoy seeing you here every week. And those are my thoughts on the Hygger heater. And I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.